Good evening and welcome back to the Cincinnati Kids Vintage Baseball Card Channel. And tonight, I'm going to do a VR for Mark Starger's cards. He asked us to share our favorite vintage team set, or maybe vintage set, baseball cards. And I'm going to do that tonight. I'm also going to share with you one of my favorite team sets, or just favorite sets, vintage sets. And it is the 1965 Topps. I will do shout outs as I go along here. We're supposed to do 3. I'll probably do more than 3. Just come to mind. First one's going to be shout out to Dylan, Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. He did a recent video on 65 Topps, and I figured this was a good excuse for me to show some of mine. So we're gonna get started. Here's Ernie Banks. And Mr. Banks, Mr. Cub. Love the side profile shot here with him. Nice blue back on this one. I've had this card many, many years. It's one of my first vintage cards I ever got. It's going to be indicated with the old SCD slab from the early 2000s. And my favorite, probably favorite overall card, Ernie Banks. Here's Tony Oliva. Oh, I should have taken this off. It's okay. Tony Oliva in the SGC slab. Just beautiful with the yellow pennant. And that's the design I really like from this, is the pennant design of the 65 Topps. Just sets it above for me. It's just slightly above other sets from this time period, from this decade. And probably my favorite. It's really hard with 60 Topps, but this is probably my favorite 60s set. Here's an iconic card in the hobby, certainly the golden era and in the 1960s, because you would see this on the cover with that robin egg blue background, or color of the cover on the Beckett, early Beckett price guides. Mr. Roberto Clemente himself. Really, really like that card. Here is Mr. Don Drysdale, smiling, looking like he's having a great time. Spring training, possibly. Just a beautiful day. Everything looks right in the world when I see this card. I just think that song, "What a Wonderful World" by Louis Armstrong. This reminds me of Shane, Shoebox Legends, who likes to show modern cards of older reissues too, and his buybacks. This is not a buyback, but this was an early reissue of the Louis T. Aunt Ricky card. And I like to show it with this set because, well, you know, it has the 65 Topps design, even though it's a replica card. And I had this ungraded and sent it in and came back a 10. About a year ago, I sent this in, I think, maybe 2. I don't recall now. But I'd had this card a long time as well. And then to round out the SGC slabs, Pops himself, Willie Stargell. I've shown this card before on the channel. Just really like his early cards. What is the one again? It's because there's two stands there. Okay, now let's get into some PSA slabs. And I'm going to start off with a bunch of Giants, because why not? Here he is, the Hall of Famer himself. One of the 3 stalwarts of the golden era in the hobby. Mr. Willie Mays. And I don't like to comment too much on the look at the card, the or flaws or problems that it has. Obviously it's a 3, but it may not have the greatest eye appeal for all, but I really liked the eye appeal on this one from a standpoint it's just that didn't bother me this much because it's Willie Mays, and whether it's got perfect eye appeal or not, or perfect corners, the image on it is just clear as a bell, pristine. There's not a wrinkle, crease anywhere that I can tell, anywhere on the surface of the printed part of this card. Not one fisheye, which this set is prone to have, particularly down the border down here or in the pennant even. So I wanted the card. It works for me. I'm the caretaker of that one until the next person that's fortunate enough to have that card, and it's just how I like it. This one isn't perfect either, but it's pretty close. The price was just tough to beat. Couldn't beat it. Well below value, well below the PSA printed value, which people say is often wrong anyway. So I think that's good value when you can get below the PSA price, estimated value. But the dapper Dominican himself, Juan Marichal, I consider to be the best pitcher of the 60s. On his Hall of Fame battery mate, well, not battery mate, rotation mate, sorry, not a catcher. This is Gaylord Perry. Just a beautiful card, that this bright blue sky background, just really love that. Let's see, what else we have here? Oh, the other Hall of Famer from there. I don't have Orlando Cepeda in the 65 tops as of now. So a 5th giant Hall of Famer on that. That was a loaded team. But here is Willie McCovey. It's my favorite Willie McCovey card. Again, the bright, nice blue sky in the background. This one I took my time to hunt out and got a great deal on it. Sometime, oh gee, I think that was 2 years, it'll be 2 years ago, November, I think I picked that up. And then, one of historical significance, of course, the Murakami rookie. I really enjoy this card and the history and what it means. First Japanese player to play in a Major League Baseball game. Along with Dick Estelle and the beautiful facade he has for the stadium in the background on his side of the card. Okay, we're going to go some non-giants. How about Carl Yastrzemski? Obviously posed shot of him maybe catching a fly ball. We'll just stick with him there. Move this back just a bit. I hate making camera adjustments in the video. This is a live shot, so time is limited. So how about that? Here's one of the best combo cards. Oh, it's got a real big chip in the case. This is a really old PSA slab. One of the best combo cards ever. 64 ERA leaders. Left arm of God and Mr. Stare Down himself, Don Drysdale. (1965) was a year that had several of my favorite movies, and maybe if I have a revision of this set in the future, and I may share some of the raw examples and great examples I have of this set too, I might share those movies with you. Let's just stick to the cards today. Mr. Frank Howard. Really have a lot of respect for this guy. Lots of Dodgers fans out there. I don't want to miss any. But obviously, Vintage on Vintage Steve, I'll shout him out. Loves the Dodgers. And it's with the Giants. I forgot my shout out for the Giants cards. So that would be Rob from Baseball Time Traveler, who was a huge Giants fan. And I enjoy his videos, and looking forward to his next one, hopefully soon. So there's Frank Howard. How about another Frank? How about Frank Robinson? This is an interesting card. Obviously, you see the grade that was assigned to it by PSA. The pretty rare one. I think this is pretty rare for a one. Again, I'm not one to comment about condition, but tell me, where do you see the problem on this card that makes it a one? I'd be curious in your comments below. I am not complaining because I got it for a fantastic price, but I feel like I paid for a 7 or a 6. Maybe the corners are flayed and I can't tell from here. I mean, this bottom left one might be. But will I try to see if I can get upgraded in an SGC slab that they'll realize the error of PSA's ways? I say that tongue-in-cheek, quotes, air quotes. Error, I don't know. There is probably something there, but I almost always find it. I can find it, but I've had this thing on the loop. I can't tell. I thought there might have been a pinhole up here by the F in Frank, but it was just the shadow background on the F. That's the key, one of the key cool things about the backs of these 65 tops, the cartoonish part of it. So I am perplexed. It isn't perfectly aligned, but you know, I will take it. And for the price I got it at, I feel like I got a 5 or 6 here, but I'm gonna leave it in the slab. I like collecting these ones that you just can't figure out why. That's the thrill or fun of PSA, I suppose. Just a couple more I'll share here. Here's another Hall of Famer, Jim Cott. Kitty Cott, he had a lot of great cards. I like the smile on this one, really young here. And then the final one, and this guy had a history. He had a history of some issues off field that got him into trouble with the law later on. But scandals broke out that he made the cover of Sports Illustrated in the late 60s, right at the top of the pinnacle of his career. I think it didn't help him. He also he had arm troubles as well. Basically threw his arm out. Last 30 game winner, the rookie card of Denny McLain. Makes me think of Eric, the Detroit collector. Gotta shout out these channels that have their city name in it too. So there you go. There's the 65 tops I wanted to share with you. Just love this set. So colorful, so beautiful. And I'm happy to share them with you. So if you want to stick around, you'll get to see the team set, my favorite team set next. If not, I understand. Feel free to exit the video and I'll see you around. Well, welcome back, and I appreciate you for sticking around this long on the video. This is the team set, favorite team set I'm going to share. I had to reshoot this because apparently it was too long in my video editor. My cheap free video editor said I had not enough data to combine all these files, so we're gonna make this quick. Back in the day when I was a fairly young guy still, there was a team that went wire to wire, And if you know anything about my channel and the name in my channel, you know it's the Cincinnati Reds. It's the wire-to-wire Reds from the 1990 season that defeated, I'd say swept, the Oakland A's. Sorry, Drew, I had to say it. Drew clean cheap shots, everyone. Resident huge A's fan, and just had to live with that all these years. There's Rick Mahler. He was older pitcher, veteran pitcher, was very instrumental helping out Jeff Reed, the backup catcher. Here's Eric the Red, Eric Davis. Got hurt in that game 4 when the game was well in hand. Never was really the same after that. It's too bad. Jack Armstrong, without him going 5-0 to start the season, I'm not sure the Reds get out to that huge lead. His pitching was huge in the first half. He really faded in the second half. Here's a guy who didn't. TB, most reliable pitcher. His wife gave birth to one of their children on a night that they didn't pitch. It was the first night of the World Series. They had to come back from behind. Thought he was actually going to have to come out and maybe throw extra innings, and they were trying to reach him at the hospital. Fortunately, they didn't have to go after him because the Reds won. Billy Bates crossed home plate. I don't know, Billy Bates isn't in this set. Here's the toaster, Ron Oster, longtime Reds veteran. Platoon at first base with the zinger, Todd Benzinger. Danny Jackson, good left-handed pitcher. Didn't throw a ton that season, got injured. He had a lot of injuries in his career. Luis Quinones, the utility man. Just, this guy was the glue guy. You plug him in somewhere on the day you need him to play, he'd deliver for you. Good utility infielder. There's King Griffey Sr. I don't think he played a ton with the Reds that year. Maybe a pinch hit appearance or two. Here's a third of the Nasty Boys, Rob Dibble. Here's his battery mate, Joe Oliver. Tim Burtsis, limited pitching. Scott Scudder came up and made a few nice spot starts for the Reds, but he wasn't a great pitcher. He was okay. Didn't really have a huge career in the major leagues. Mike Rosler, I know he didn't make the final roster for the playoffs. One of my favorites, obviously. You've seen me show his cards on the channel before. Chris Sabo. Sabes, as I called him. Spuds is what everyone else called him. Tim Leary. Decent pitcher. Here's Big, as the legend would call him. Paul O'Neill. Big at the plate. Swings. Dong fly ball. Home run. Here's the team ace. Although he didn't start the season with the Reds, he was injured, which he often was. Jose Rio, nastiest slider probably in the major leagues at that point. Barry Larkin, of course, the legend. My favorite Red of that era. Probably favorite Red all time. Ron Robinson. Got him there in the first half, and then he got traded for Glenn Braggs. Norm Charlton, another third of the Nasty Boys, claimed he actually threw at Mike Scioscia that time. Tommy Helms was not the manager, obviously. John Franco was not a Nasty Boy. He was traded for Randy Myers. Herm Winningham, key guy off the bench. Mariano Duncan, mostly the everyday second baseman. And Rolando Rooms, not sure even if he even was on the squad then. So there you have it. It'll be a little while till I make another video, but thank you for watching. And as always, good night and good luck.